Hello and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. This is Barrister's Canadian Gold. Canadian whiskey, a blend. Age 3 years. There's the emblem, the regal emblem with the big crown. I don't think Queen Elizabeth has a crown that big in Canada or England or anywhere else. It's like a double whopper, that thing. But anyhow, these fanciful labels. Extra fine quality, Canada's finest. Oh, really? For only $9.99. Amazing. Yes, it's imported. I don't even think this is sold in Canada. Let me tell you. You can get it cheaper than this per ounce if you buy the big handle bottle, but I figured $7.50 would be enough, and it is. Now, yesterday I went up against Caliber. I got it wrong. I was so shocked. That video was long, but I mean, I was thinking about it. CG, Canadian Gold. So I said, I knew they were both flavored with like some strange like nut oil and vanilla-like flavors and all, but I couldn't imagine that I would get Caliber mixed up with Canadian Gold. So I was going on and everything. And then I looked at the label and I was just like stunned. I was just like, what? So I got it wrong. Well, I just have to admit it. That's the way it goes. Now today and tomorrow, well, not tomorrow, no challenges tomorrow, but today and Thursday and Friday and so on, I think I'm not going to get it wrong anymore because I got the competitors, the Rich and Rare Reserve, the Heir to the Throne, the Canadian Club 12-year age, the Gibson's Finest Rare 12-year. None of those have that weird flavoring thing I was just talking about, so I won't mix them up. But now Gibson's, they should add that flavor into it because that stuff's pretty rough cut. It's kind of harsh on the mouth. Beer Hounds Beer Review says, hi, Ronski A. Rue. Hello to you. Good morning. So I don't know. I got it wrong yesterday, and I'm just, I was in the right place, but it must have been the wrong time. I was on the right trip, but it must have been a wrong call. I don't know how to explain it. Kessler Marathon needed. Julius Kessler whiskey. Yes. One day when we're really old. All right. Rich and Rare Reserve. But if I could run out of blendeds to do, wouldn't be shocked by that, to tell you the truth. Now, this is not a taped on label that I can tell. It's just a painted bottle. It is. So it's a fancy embossed bottle, which apparently they use the same design for the Golden Wedding from Canada, which we don't get in America, the United States of America. It says imported and bottled in the USA by Sazerac Company, Frankfort, Kentucky. Now, see, if this was bourbon, it would say what? Bottled by Buffalo Trace, Frankfort, Kentucky. So this is bottled at Buffalo Trace, but it's they use the Sazerac name. Now, this is on the Sazerac website, and they brag about how great it is and all of that. So I put a link to that there so you can see it. And you can get regular Rich and Rare for like $7.99 at Walmart. And that is the truth. It's got a lot more of that funky monkey Canadian whiskey flavor and thing going. I think there's enough left for another taste challenge. So we better be conservative, ultra conservative. Now this has a similar thing, but it's got a unicorn and a horse instead of two lions. And it's got a shield with R&R, rest and recreation, and then it's got a crown for Canada. Oh, don't you wish you lived in a kingdom? You say, no, they tell me what to do in my life. I live in a republic where they tell me what to do in my life. See, You see, it's a lot better to live under a president who gives you orders and restrictions than a king or queen who gives you orders and restrictions, because freedom isn't free, and I'm proud to be an American, and all of these slogans. And I think slogans are what makes the world go round. And I think slogans are what's important. They're both amber gold, so that shouldn't matter. All right. I think people in the USA are much more comfortable living under an authoritarian republic government. It's supposed to be a federal republic, but we know better. But they feel much more comfortable living under an authoritarian republic than an authoritarian monarchy. You see, now some of these little nitpicking people will say things like, well, what difference would it make? It's the same result. A lack of freedom and a lack of freedom and free enterprise and all of these things. Well, please do not bring up things like that to me, because that would invalidate the whole, Revolutionary War thing. And then you would say, well, what was the point of that whole thing? And I would say, there's a lot of points to it. It meant a lot. Could have a different flag design, same red, white, and blue, but different way it's rearranged, and have states instead of provinces. See, you got a one-syllable name instead of 3 syllables. Provinces, states. Now, that's an important difference. And you say, but it's still, freedom is restricted. It's not really a free country. I don't know why, people would bring up like nitpicky counter arguments like that. Okay, I miss Trump, says Beer Hounds. Do I need to send you, Kessler, to get you to do it? No, because I can buy a bottle right there at Dorgnax, a big handle bottle. It's just that I'm working through other things right now. All right, so cheers to Canada and their whiskeys, and cheers to New Jersey for bottling Barrister's Canadian Gold. Laird's, thank you, Laird. Cheers to Kentucky for bottling Rich and Rare Reserve. Thank you, Sazerac Company. And remember, freedom isn't free, and this is a free country. You should be proud of it. I mean, it's free on paper, at least, and that's important. That's what's important, to be told that, not in practice. Okay, but to be told. Cheers to Ron. Thanks, Beer Hound. All right. So on with the review. Smells like honey nut cereal. Whoops, it kind of dribbled into my mouth. Actually, it smells mostly just like cornflakes. You say, what brand? Post or Kellogg? I think it tastes more like Food Club, a store brand. Cheerios. Well, that would be with oats, but yeah, sometimes you get these weird grain things over here now. This smells even more like grain whiskey, meaning corn, a lot of corn in the nose, and a decent amount of rye. You say rye. I love eating a Reuben sandwich. I love rye bread. I love Woodford Reserve rye whiskey. I do too. Boy, that's a good one. On the nose, I get the impression that the one here is the Rich and Rare Reserve, and I get the impression that the one over there is the Canadian Gold. I'm addicted to Honey Nut Cheerios with a banana and covered in honey. That sounds like a good thing to be addicted to, and I think I could eat one right now and I'd be so delighted. But the only thing I had for breakfast this morning was one large egg. I poured a little milk in the bowl. I scrambled that all together. You know what I mean? How you do with the egg, whip it. And then I had the pan hot, not too hot, with the lard. So I had the lard in the pan, all melted, diced yellow onions, diced ham, you know, from a pig. Uh, and then the scrambled egg, and then I got all that fried, and I put the Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning on it, and some black pepper, and some Valentina extra hot sauce, and then some Hondureña cheese. You know, that white cheese is harder than a brick, and you know, little slices there, and then I ate it with a spoon, and that was the end of it. Can you please make a video of that? I don't know. Would people want to see that? Me cooking egg and ham? All right, taste time, you all. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Vanilla, cotton candy, a little oak wood, some kind of weird cashew oil. That's the Canadian gold, CG. Ha ha, got it, got it, got him, ha ha. And the reason I got it, because I just knew. I know that Rich and Rare doesn't have that kind of flavor. I know. Rich and Rare, it might be flavored. All Canadian whiskey subject to be flavored. They don't have to put that on the bottle with natural flavors. Sazerac does that as a courtesy, I guess. But you can tell some are obviously not given that treatment as much as others. I mean, if you drink Crown Royal, you got to really think on it close. And it might have a little flavor into it, but it's mostly just grain, cereal grain, and all that. And then some are just like you saying, like they're like kaboom cereal. You look back in the whiskey, you think you're gonna see the little clown faces in there floating. It's so flavored. Yes, that's interesting. I'll try it if you post it. I did some cooking videos back in 2014 when Modelo sent me the Modelo Negra $50 to buy cases of it. And the deal was they sent me a cutting board, which I still have, 4 different spices from the Spice House. Very tasty spices, I have to admit. And the only obligation I had was to make videos cooking with the 4 different spices and then eating the food and pairing it with Modelo Negra, or as they called it back then, Negra Modelo, in the videos. And they were like, Chef Rick Bayless has partnered with Modelo to do all these videos. And I'm like, well, why'd they pick me? I'm not a chef. I'm not famous. And I didn't see any other beer reviewers do it. So I guess they only picked me. I don't know what the draw was, the attraction. But I told them, okay. And then I said, what do you think about the videos? They said, oh, they're great. You know, so I don't know. I had chicken in the oven cooking. That was a very interesting recipe, Ron. It was simple. I mean, all the stuff I cook is so simplistic. I mean, now the chicken that I cooked in the toaster oven with the Spice House spices, and then I paired with Modelo Negra. Was it good? Did it come out nice? Yeah, it did. I loved it. But I mean, to say it was gourmet food, you know, is ridiculous. It was just, that's all it was. I just put the spices on there and let it set in there for like in the fridge for like an hour or two, and it kind of absorbed the spice. I should have done it overnight. Then I put it in a toaster oven and I cooked it. It was nice. Wasn't anything fabulous. Plus, I got $50 from the company to buy beer, and I bought a lot of Modelo Negra for $50. Because you know, back then it was $13.99 or 14 something for a 12-pack. Now, see, that just tastes like grain, cereal grain. And what I'm talking about, corn, rye, maybe some wheat whiskey, and some single malt whiskey, and maybe unmalted barley whiskey. I was drinking that Tullamore Dew Sunday. Did a video. I'm gonna post it eventually. Tullamore DEW, Tullamore Dew, Daniel E. Williams. I was tasting it and talking about, oh, it tastes like cornflakes in that and all of that. But then I read the website and I was watching a video that the company made, actually. It was a video they made. And they were saying, we only use wheat. That's their grain whiskey. They make grain whiskey out of wheat, not corn. I said, oh. So I was picking up Wheaties, not cornflakes. And then they use barley. That's the only two grains they use, wheat and barley. That's it. No corn, no rye, no nothing. Wheat and barley. It's a two-grain, a duo grain whiskey. Now, they make 3 different types of whiskeys with those 2 grains. And then the barley grain is malted and unmalted. So they got 2 types. But still, it's still a grain. So I say, I'm glad I didn't know beforehand, because I couldn't be influenced by my prior knowledge. I could only go by what I was tasting. And I was saying corn, but haha, it was wheat. What grain is honeycombs? I don't know. Is it like wheat flour, oat flour, I think? Oat flour that they make into little shapes. You know, oats are kind of sticky, so they can make little shapes, like little circles for Cheerios and the little honeycombs. That's like the poor man's Canadian Crown Royal. Crown Royal. A lot of people will say that it's as good as Crown Royal. It's better than Crown Royal. I don't believe that personally, but for $9.99, sometimes stores have this for $9.99. Normally it's like $11.99, but they'll have sales $9.99. Would I buy Rich and Rare Reserve instead of Crown Royal? Yeah, every time. I'm not going to pay $22.99 for Crown Royal when I can get this for $9.99. Is it as good? No, but it's not much worse. It's close. It's a close competitor. And most people buy Crown Royal and they mix it with Coca-Cola. I see this all the time. I'm going to drink some Crown and Coke. That's all they want to drink, Crown and Coke, Crown and Coke. Well, heck, if you're going to mix it with Coca-Cola, you just soon pay half the price and do it, because you're not going to have any kind of a different experience. They're both 80 proof, no age statement. And all these Crown Royal loyalists, and there are millions around the world, as you know, it's the most popular whiskey in Louisiana. But all these Crown Royal loyalists, I would love to see them get it right in a blind taste test, because they'll claim, there's nothing like my Crown. My Crown. They got Crown Royal t-shirts. They drive a Crown Royal, a Crown Victoria. They watch The Crown. You know what I'm saying? Everything with them is Crown Royal. Fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But they'll denigrate other whiskeys like, I would never drink that garbage. I'm a Crown man and all of this. Oh, yeah, my Crown. I say, well, would you like to do a blind taste test? Or they're not going to do it. I'll puke if I drink that other stuff. No. Yeah, you might, because you'll be so disturbed because you wouldn't be able to tell them apart. That's the real answer. I love to do blind taste tests on people because it gets them tripped up, mixed up, fixed up. My friend David, every time I say Budweiser, he'd say, blah, 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 so on, all kind of antics. And I say, well, Budweiser is pretty good. Oh, I hate that stuff. Oh, go. And he really hates Bud Light, let me tell you. So I did a blind taste challenge with him a while back this month. Boy, he couldn't guess it. He didn't know what it was. He was talking about Keystone Ice or something. And he was saying, man, I don't know. And when I showed him that Budweiser bottle, boy, his face was just like, you thought he saw a ghost. I said, uh-huh. And I always make him give the score before I show him the label, because, I said, what's the score? Whoa, it was a high score. Oh, this stuff's delicious. Oh man, yeah, 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 yeah. And I showed him that Budweiser bottle. I said, uh-huh. I saved that. I wish I could have snapped that photo, saved that in posterity and chiropractic, because the look on his face, I was like, you think you know, but you don't really know. That is why I keep preaching the blind taste test homily. If you think you know a product so well, so very well, prove it. Just prove it. Do a blind taste test. Do it on air. Don't sit there and look at the glass and say, oh, look, I poured this beer here and I poured this beer here and I'm going to taste this and I'm going to taste that. That doesn't prove anything. You're looking at it. You know which is which. And I mean, it's got to have some sense to it. If you're going to do a blind taste test, you're not going to say, oh, I'm going to do Oscar Blues 10.5%, and I'm going to go against Busch Light and I'm going to see what, well, common sense, you're going to be able to tell those apart with no kind of effort. It's like you're going to taste challenge pizza and ice cream. So it has to be some similarities, like these two here, both Canadian whiskeys. So there's some similarity. But they got people that do video reviews and they will just constantly claim. I know my fill in the blank, whatever the brand is. I love my fill in the blank, whatever the brand is. Oh, and I hate that, fill in the blank. And I tell them, well, can you do a blind taste test? And then they'll tell me, I don't see the value in that. No, I don't believe that statement that they're telling me. No, you see the value in it. Yeah, but you're not going to you're not going to take the risk on live. You see, just do it live. No edits. Don't go make a recorded blind taste test and then show us later, because we don't know what kind of funny business you up to. You say, well, you've done it. Yeah, I have done recorded blind taste tests, but I'm not cheating. I've done enough live. You know, I'm not cheating. But some of these people, I'm not too sure, you know, they got too much merch to sell. You know, they got too many t-shirts. They got too many people they need to like, comment, and subscribe. They got to do Patreon, Twitter, Carbuncle, you know, Blood Vessel, and all these other media platforms to get their thing out there. You know, I'm everywhere, and they cannot be taking these risks. But I say take the risk. Not going to hurt your channel anyway. It'll probably help it. Which of these do I like better? Well, I like the flavoring thing. Okay, I'm a sucker for flavoring. Okay, if I eat pancakes, I'm going to put the pancake syrup. You say, well, that's flavoring. You're ruining the purity of the pancake. Only a pancake purist would only have pancakes with non-GMO flour, and it's $26.99 a box, and it's fried in vegan oil and all of this. Okay, good. And they would never, under any circumstances, put flavoring on it. Okay, but I'm not like that. I'm a pedestrian. I put the pancake syrup, and I like it, and butter. Not margarine, at least. Hey, I put butter. Now I like the rich and rare grain flavor. I like all the pure. It doesn't really taste flavored, honestly. And it doesn't have to be flavored. I said they're allowed to flavor it. It's not a requirement. It just tastes like stereotypical, what you would say, whiskey. Just like if somebody said, what does whiskey taste like? You could take Rich and Rare Reserve and say, here's a good prototype. This is like a good example of whiskey, like Jack Daniels or Jim Beam or Johnny Walker Red Label or Jameson Irish. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a standard flavor. Is there anything really special about Rich and Rare Reserve? Yeah, the price, haha, $9.99, and the pretty bottle. But otherwise, it's not really that special. Now, this one, I wouldn't say is special. It's just strange. Very strange. But I like strange things, and I like it. I like it. I do like it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna get up here talking about, oh, it's flavored, tastes like nut oil and cotton candy and etc., which makes it bad. Doesn't make it bad. Makes it non-standard, that's for sure. Makes it strange. but it does make it memorable. And some viewers will tell me, I like the weird stuff more than anything because I'm tired of drinking all the regular stuff. Tastes like everything else. So something like this, that's an aberration. They would like it. They'd be attracted to it. It's a bohemian. You say it's a hippie. Yeah, but this is back before the hippies got popular. You know what I'm saying? This is like a hippie before hippies were cool. Once CBS television started talking about the hippies, then the hippies didn't want to be hip. You know what I'm saying? Like in California, they were saying, "Oh, it's a drag now, man," because they were making CBS special feature tonight, the hippie world. You know, I'm Bob Crackett, and this is the hippie world. And they are telling us this the summer of love coming up, the summer of love. And, you know, and then it was all buy buttons and buy your hippie clothes. Get your hippie clothes here. Get your wet pandas. Get your wet pandas here. And all of that stuff. So then the hippies were like, oh man. So then they had the death of hippie, and they buried hippie. Actually, they buried him. They had a funeral for hippie. But it didn't matter because then it was like a marketing thing, right? So then you had Peter Brady wearing his little hippie hair, you know. Then the Brady Bunch was hippies. And the dad got his hair permed and he was wearing like paisley shirts, and Carol and him. But they always would drink coffee out those plastic cups, those earth tone plastic cups. And I love that. I used to love that. And I cared a lot about it. You know. The whole house was earth tones. It was fascinating. Good morning, Ron, says Dixie Baseman. I've been there, done that. My buddy says he hates Miller Genuine Draft, but he always says it's great when I pour him some and he doesn't know what it is. Haha. Yep, I love to run those pranks on people. That was my dad's favorite beer. That's all he would drink. Good country crock all day. Country crock. That, you know, that's not butter. It's one of those mine, you two can't go wrong with it. You know what, JB, don't wait. Okay. I'm sorry. I was about to read a comment. Somebody was obviously dropping tabs and it's kicking in. Well, you didn't get the good stuff. You got some of that budget brand lysergic acid diethylamide. And now look. Now enjoying an Altamont Maui IPA. I've never had anything from Altamont, including the Hells Angels or Altamont Maui Wowie. Okay, Joe Biden said he doesn't. Oh, well, getting back to planet Earth now. The night tripper is commenting. It tastes like weed. Okay, now, well, anyway, I've tried some of those cannabis beers. They're pretty unpleasant, honestly. But anyway, such is life. I can't say there's a winner here. There's just a variation. So you get, if you want a heavy flavored thing, then, but not an unpleasantly heavy flavor. Just it's heavy flavor, but it's not unpleasant. I can't lie. Get the Canadian Gold. It's a mighty fine product for $9.99. I gotta say that. If you want an unflavored, more traditional whiskey, reminiscent of Crown Royal, well, get the Rich and Rare Reserve, and you can get it for $9.99 at many stores. I've never seen it cheaper than that. $9.99 would be the lowest price, but it's common. Like it's almost like these grocery stores around here take turns. It's like they're in collusion. They'll say, "Well, look, this week you run it for $9.99. The next week they can run it, and then we'll take. Then they'll come back around. And by the time they get back to them, it's been 6 weeks, so they run another sale. It's like a perpetual $9.99 sale. Then get that. But otherwise, quality level and everything, yeah, it seems even. Really, I can't say one is better than the other. It's different, but different doesn't make it better or worse. It just makes it, different. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, the big bowl of chili. Well, that's good. $9.99 for a bottle of whiskey is a great deal, says Zach Worm. It is. And $4.99 is even better. And I got a bottle I bought for $4.99, and that is the truth. And it is a Canadian whiskey. And when I show it to you, you won't believe it. But it's a true story. And it's a regular size bottle. It's not a mini bottle. And it's not some old bottle from 1979. It's a brand new bottle. And I got it for $4.99. True story. But that's another story for another day. Dixie Baseman says, to clarify, last night I was referring to a Tridentine, right? AKA the Latin Mass. Oh, yes, I'm familiar with it. Our choir director wants me to hit a G1 every verse with a mask and a small mic being 15 feet away. Good luck. Yeah, well, sometimes choir directors have unreasonable expectations. Zach says, laughing out loud, $4.99 is the price of 1 ounce bottle in Canada. Look, I've gotten whiskey as cheap as $3.98 a bottle. Now, that is not a lie. It's a surprise. I was shocked myself. I bought from Chivas Brothers now, not some like my Uncle Doug made whiskey in his barn or his tool shed. No. This is from Chivas Brothers. It's a 3-year age Scotch blended, of course. It's called 100 Pipers. It was introduced in 1965. They even have the man's name that introduced it on their website, Chivas Brothers website. And they had it at Discount Depot for $3.98. I cannot explain that. That is an extremely strange price, even for 100 Pipers, which is sort of like Chivas Brothers kind of in lower level brand, like budget brand. Although in India they sell it as a premium, and then there's a 12-year age in India, which I've never seen. But I mean, the normal price you're gonna pay for 100 Pipers be around $10, not $3.98. That's craziness. Naturally, I bought it. I should have bought more, but lucky finds. I know. I just couldn't get over it. I told my friend David, "You're just not gonna believe it." But he did believe it, actually, because he knows about Discount Depot. He scored some hits over there himself. All right, thanks for watching this video production. So I did 2 video postings this morning where we did Mike's Hard Lemonade, which my 2 partners won off the air, so she can't get the credit. But she was too shy to come on air or whatever reason. But she was able to comment off air, you know what I mean, to the side, not on camera. She loved it, and I said, I knew y'all would love it. And so that was a hit. That was a big hit. And then we did a Beta Alpha Gator. That was not a hit. That was not a hit. I think later to you. So y'all take care now. And we got about 4 Canadian whiskeys left. And then it's on to Irish whiskey. Y'all have a good morning too.